New technologies often bring renewed hope and excitement in the possibilities of tomorrow. Think back to the dawn of the computing age or the first man we placed on the moon. These were some of the same dreams that we had for nuclear energy. However, due to major nuclear incidents in the past, in Fukushima, Chernobyl, and 3 Mile, the public image of nuclear energy has been blemished for decades. In spite of this, I would like to make my case for why we should support and strengthen the declining US nuclear energy industry today. I will address 3 points: public apprehension towards nuclear energy, the current threat of at-risk nuclear power plants, as well as establishing a long-term solution for nuclear energy waste. Firstly, there is a prevalent sense of public apprehension against nuclear energy. According to the MIT Energy Initiative, discrimination against nuclear energy is primarily rooted in public attitudes towards nuclear energy, which translates into discriminatory public policies. What this means is that people are frightened and apprehensive about the idea of developing nuclear energies within their backyard or within their district or area. This means their local lawmakers, their state lawmakers, are reluctant to develop pro-nuclear legislation, and is a problem we need to fix before we can expand nuclear energy. Nuclear power plants are at risk. We need to, according to the MIT Center for Energy and Environmental Policy Research, unless replaced by emissions-free renewables or hydro, the retirement of nuclear generators today is likely to increase the amount of greenhouse gas emissions in the United States. If we do not allow these nuclear generators to continue functioning, even if we replace these power plants with renewable energy, we will still have an increase in greenhouse gas emissions, as we would still have to develop coal power plants and natural gas power plants to supplement these renewable energy plants. This is obviously undesirable and needs to be addressed by US government action. Thirdly, there's still no permanent solution to nuclear waste. According to the Center for International Study and Cooperation, the US Nuclear Waste Management Program has labored for decades and wasted billions of dollars with no program as a result. This is a diagram of the nuclear fuel cycle that I did a couple of months ago. As a result of this procedure, nuclear waste accumulates here and is supposed to be disposed of through a permanent nuclear repository. However, the United States has not even established a state to build this nuclear repository site, and this is a major problem that we need to fix before we have grander ideas about what we want to do with nuclear energy. Despite these issues, there are several actions that the US government can take to remedy this. The first would be to expand public awareness of the benefits of nuclear through campaigns and multimedia exposure. Secondly would be to implement a state-by-state zero emissions tax credit program to support these at-risk nuclear power plants. This would be the formula that nuclear power plants and distribution utilities use to receive zero emissions credits, and is the one that's already successfully being used in New York. We should also establish a long-term nuclear repository site for nuclear waste. This explains how to revitalize the nuclear energy, but why should we do this? Should we do this instead of developing our renewable energy? Well, allow me to give you some reasons why we should do this instead of investing more into our renewable energies. Imagine two scenarios. In the first scenario, we don't support nuclear energy. Greenhouse gas emissions will rise, even if they're replaced by renewable energies. Our US energy portfolio becomes less diverse and we lose to foreign competition. Now, what happens if we support nuclear energy? Our US energy portfolio becomes more diversified. We increase the number of jobs that we create. We lower greenhouse gas emissions and we boost the economy. These are fantastic benefits, and now that we understand the need to support nuclear energy, how do we, as average citizens, make this possible? Well, we can start by getting involved in pro-nuclear campaigns. We can become nuclear advocates via websites. We can educate ourselves on the benefits of nuclear energy and discuss this with each other, and campaign for our local lawmakers to create legislation supporting nuclear energy. These are some of the things that we can do to support nuclear energy. In conclusion, statistics show that a growing percentage of US citizens support nuclear energy. With the aid of nuclear advocates and new technological developments, the time of a new atomic renaissance may be around the corner. As a kid, I used to love nuclear energy the first time I read this book. And I believe it is possible for us to create this a new era for sustainable energy through nuclear energy and diversifying our US energy portfolio. Through new nuclear energies, we can turn our nuclear power plants from this into this. New technologies are possible, but it is our decision as participants in the political discussion to ultimately choose: is nuclear really the new clean? Thank you.